Hi and welcome to this video. My name is SJ or Sean Newton. I'm going to be recording for game testing for Brain Rot Riot. The team name is Pontimac Shine. And this will be my honest feedback for first time playing through and just trying to navigate their game. I'm just going to go over what I'm seeing here as walking through the game for the first time. I don't know where to go. I quite literally am just walking forward and I see humans and now I'm attacking humans. I see the objective and I'm just kind of wandering around from then on. I get lost for a bit. You'll see that a bit further in the video. And it took me a while to really get used to the controls and the controller because I tested this with controller. The controller works for about 85% of the game. Anything that has like a pull up page, the controller does not work there. The only time the controller works for an actual menu screen like thing is in the main menu. The main menu is the only time I'm able to navigate the menus with the controller. I don't know if that's just a simple input that needs to be put on if someone presses the pause button or someone presses the a fellow zombie to pull up to see if they can be altered for skill tree. I don't understand also with the skill tree mechanic why each individual zombie has its own skill tree rather than one shared skill tree. I found that was really strange. I don't know if that's supposed to happen. And as if we're just going to go down the list of questions here, I tested Bridgetown. I was going to push further, but I got a hard stuck bug, which is shown in the video at the very end, and you'll hear me come in for that, so I won't need to explain that. Like I just said, I wasn't able to finish it. Ended up having about 31 brain power. The infection counter ended up being about 8. Like I said before, the things I felt were missing were leading lines. I felt like there could have been more player feedback, even if it's just as cheap as a line trace to show where the hitbox is for the zombie stuff. Something saying that you successfully hit barrier and maybe having the barrier have a little health bar, to see if you are hitting it is working or if you just need to interact with it. Some type of pop up to show that my player input is doing something comparatively to just disappearing after either running into it, touching it for a bit, or hitting it for a bit. It just doesn't. It doesn't feel very clear on what you're supposed to do in that regard. And that was probably the biggest confusions I had while going through this test. If I'm gonna hop over to the content questions, overall, the character move to hit ratio on a controller was a lot easier to just pick up because it was put on like normally where you would see, run is the tap in the left thing, or it's usually tap in the left toggle or either the left bumper, and that's usually what's used for run. Attack is always going to be the fire button, which is the bottom right trigger. That was pretty easy to pick up. It was a lot more easy to pick up on controller, in my opinion, comparatively to just trying to run it all through. Keyboard. I tried doing it on keyboard for a bit, and I didn't like how spread out everything was comparatively to where WASD was. Most likely, if I was playing a game like this, I'd be using controller, so not that big of a pullback for me. But if you were aiming more for the PC market, I would definitely utilize Q or E a bit more. Maybe the numbers up top as well, like 1, 2, 3, ZXC. That's as far as if it was easy. It was very easy for controller. It's just like I was saying earlier, controller doesn't work on everything, and you still have to have a keyboard and mouse close to you to actually select the things to get out of specific menus that aren't the main menu. So then that would lead to the next question. No, it didn't work as it was stated specifically because of what I just explained. Yes, there was directions everywhere. I am not familiar with the quick abbreviations for like right, left, bumper, X, Y, and Z. It took me a little bit to get used to that, but otherwise it was pretty clear. Like there was, and in the video you'll see I actually did open up the instructions and get like a small rundown as why I actually switched to controller, because I was like I'm gonna have trouble remembering these things on a keyboard. Definitely the ease of access is in the controller settings. I just wish it worked for the entirety of the game. Did you get too much direction? No, I believe there was less. It was a lot of left up to the wherever the player wants to wander, and it was a lot left over to the imagination. There's no mini map to kind of see where you're at map wise either to help navigate where you're supposed to go. There was no real leading lines. You just kind of wandered until you didn't have anything else to kill, and then you kept wandering, and hopefully you got to the place by having object permutation of, oh, I remember that this is the area I was in before, let me go the opposite way, which in specific games works better just because it gives you player choice, but there should be something that helps with like a main leading line to go towards this area to finish the game, if that makes sense. It doesn't have to be a literal line. It could literally just be these specific tiles, or you can have like stones that lead you that way through this that are just scattered about in the town. You can actually color code those stones to say, no, typically green is gonna be like something that you want to go and explore. Red is like the main thing that you have to watch out for, or it could be leading you to stop. It's the main two things that are red are used for is either to call attention or to using color to communicate with the player on this is the areas you need to go with instead of just white canvas. Would have been a lot better as far as direction went, and I don't think I would have gotten lost as many times as I did throughout the gameplay test. So yeah, the game gives you plenty of time. There's no countdown timer or anything like that to kind of figure things out. The issue is there's such a long process of trying to figure that out. I ended up doing, the time I had for the video was twice the amount of time that it was supposed to be. The video uploaded to YouTube is a bit more edited. Testing. Okay, so I am hard stuck. I cannot move. Um, yeah, I didn't really know what to do most of this, and I was just running around trying to infect things. This was a controller try. There is a lot of menus that don't have options to use the controller to get out of said menu. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna end it here.